last week. This is the general orientation. If you have a current website, you can bring it up now and follow along, or you can watch and practice later. If at any point you have a question, just go ahead and raise your hand and I'll be happy to answer it. Okay, so the first thing to do is to log into your site. So to do that, you're going to scroll down to the bottom of your web page, and there's going to be a little key icon. You're going to go ahead and click on that. The username is always administrator with a lowercase a, and then the password is whatever you've set it. If it's your first time logging in, it will ask you to change your password. Otherwise, it'll automatically bring you in to the website. So once you've logged in, you'll see that you have a new bar at the top of your screen. And so we'll go into each of these in a little bit. So the main parts of your website are going to be the header right up here, the standard content right here, the common content right here, and the footer down here. So every single part of your website is customizable. That includes even this banner right here on some templates, or they might be rotating pictures. Either way, they are customizable. The only thing that you would need to personally reach out to us to customize is this banner. Otherwise, every single section is customizable by you. So for the top buttons, the first one is going to be edit content, which is what edits all of the standard content on the page. Edit special, which is used in certain page types to change information that isn't just the standard text and pictures displayed. Edit menu, that will go into creating, deleting, hiding, and moving about your menu items right here. And we'll go into those in a little bit. And then admin home, help, which will bring up a help site, and of course log out. So the first thing that you would want to do for your website is to pick a style, pick a template. And to do that, you're going to actually click on admin home, and it's going to open up a new window. And then right over here, you'll see current template. So what you're going to go ahead and do is click that change template, and it'll bring up a new screen that has all of our current templates right here. Now, one thing to note is that you always want to remember the current template and the style, just in case what you select isn't what you were going for, or in case you just want to try something out but you like your current style. Make sure to write that down so you don't forget. Now, each of these styles is mobile responsive. And so what that means is they will automatically resize for tablets and mobile phones so that the content is always displayed correctly without any scrolling or weird artifacts. So don't let that stop you from choosing any of the templates. Now, don't get hung up on the colors, because in a little bit, when we go into one of these templates, you'll actually see that there's quite a few more selections. Just focus on how they look and the overall design of the site. And so for today, I'm going to go ahead and use Chestnut. So when you click on it, it'll bring you up to the pictures for the template. Now again, these are customizable, and these are just our stock images. In this particular case, I'm going to go ahead with the horses. And this next screen, it brings you to all the style colors. Now once again, if you don't see a color that you like, if you don't see your particular style, let us know, and we can change it for you. So if you have a particular color, your staff wears a certain style, or your practice is a certain color, just let us know. So I'm going to go ahead and just choose the screen right here. And so you'll see that after that color selection, it brings us back to the template layout. So, and we see right here, Chestnut Style 7. I'm going to go ahead and click back over to my website. And when I refresh, you'll see that it's changed and that it's now a different banner with different pictures that rotate. Okay, so edit content. I'm going to go ahead and click on edit content because we're going to change a little bit of the standard content right here. And as you can see, it looks a lot like WordPad or Microsoft Word. You should see most things that you're familiar with if you've used Word. Now, a lot of clients like to write up the content of the page in, say, Microsoft Word or WordPad, and then copy and paste it over. What I would suggest, if you're going to do it that way, go ahead and copy and paste into a notepad file before you copy and paste into here. That'll strip it of all of that extra code that can make it look a little odd, and it'll just help clean everything up. Now for pictures, one thing that we recommend is that you use pictures that you own, or our stock pictures, or pictures that you have purchased for use. Don't just go onto Google and grab the first image that you like, because more often than not, that picture will have some type of code in it that lets the owner track it, and you can actually get fined, which has happened in the past, and it's not fun. So try to use content. Please use content that either you own or that is a stock image provided by us, and it'll go a long way to making sure that everything goes smoothly for your site. So pictures. When you click on a picture, you'll see that it actually highlights the picture, so you can clearly see what the dimensions are. Let's go ahead and go into how to insert a photo. So I'm actually going to delete this photo right here. And so go ahead and place your cursor wherever you'd like the photo to be. In this case, my cursor is already at the start of this paragraph. And we're going to go right up to this button, Insert Edit Image. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that, and it's going to bring up this little box. You'll see Source right here. You'll see that it's empty. We're actually going to click this folder right here, and it's going to bring up the File Manager. Now, the File Manager has several different systems, or several different locations. The first is going to be the files that are used on your site. So this is where you would find content you've uploaded, content that is already here. Now, to upload a file, you would navigate to the folder that you want it to be in, for instance, practice images, and you would click load this upload folder right here. When you click on it, it'll bring up another screen, in which case you can drag your files into here, or click this Add Files button, and it'll bring up a standard file browser. And then once you have the files in here, you just click on Upload, and you'll see it upload all the way to 100%, in which case all you have to do is click Close, and you're ready to go. In this case, we're going to go ahead and just select some content that we already have, in which case I'm going to go into the equine folder, and we'll go ahead with the photo that I already had in there. So now you see that when I've clicked on that picture, it's populated the source, and it's populated the dimensions. Now the dimensions here are right now 400 by 400. We recommend anywhere between 250 and 400. Any smaller than that and pictures will be hard to see. Any larger than that and they may take up too much space. Now of course that doesn't always apply to every image. For instance, if you have an image of your practice, you may want it larger. But for most, that 250 to 400 would be just fine. And we'll go ahead and see if this 400 works by clicking OK. And it's pretty large. So to change that, all you have to do is once again click it and highlight it, and then double click it, and it'll bring up this image editor again. So let's go ahead and make this 300. Now when I click away, you'll see that it automatically corrects the second dimension, and that's because we have this constrained proportions checked. Now if I were to save this right now, this picture would not have any of the text wrap, and it would actually kind of just have one sentence floating off by itself. So to fix that, you would go to Advanced, and you'll see all of these options. What you're going to want to do is this Align. So right now it's set to None, which means that the picture is just wherever it was inserted. However, when you click on it, you get 3 different options. Left, to have all the text wrapped to the right. Center, to have it in the middle of the content, and right, to have all the text wrapped to the left. In this instance, we're going to go ahead and hit Align Left. And we're going to want to add a little bit of a margin. Now, the reason that you would do that is because if you can see right here, the W is writing up on the picture very close. It doesn't look very good, and it's sometimes hard to read the text. So we're actually going to add a little bit of a right margin to give it a little bit of a buffer. Now, we recommend between 5 and 10 pixels. We're going to go ahead with 10. And for the bottom, let's go with 5. Now I'm going to click OK, and you're going to see the picture change and the text wrap a little bit more. Okay, so now you see that all the text is wrapped around the picture. Now, it looks a little bit different in the editor than it will on your page. But let's go ahead and hit Save Content. And that's one thing definitely always remember to do. Click Save Content before you're done, because if you close the window now, you won't have any of those changes that you just made, and you could lose a lot of time. Similarly, if you make a mistake, don't click Save. Either close out the editor, or if you see that you are currently editing a draft, go ahead and click there, and you can revert back to the published page, so your mistake doesn't get saved, and again, potentially cost you a lot of time. So I'm going to go ahead and click Save Content right now, and it's saved. I'm going to go ahead and close the window, and you can see that the picture is once again wrapping. And we made that about 300 pixels, not too big, but not too small. Now, in addition to links on words or phone numbers, you can actually link photos. And in this particular instance, if I were to click on this, it would take us to our information library. But let's go into how to add a link onto photos or onto text. So to do that, we're actually going to go back into edit content. Oh, and I actually forgot one thing. When you insert a photo, go ahead and give it an image description. That helps your clients. It feels more personable, and it helps Google. The more information Google has when they search your website, the better your standing will be generally. So for this one, you don't have to make it super long or super detailed. We're just naming, showing that it's our horse, and give it a little bit of a description. Okay, so to create links, all you have to do is either highlight the text or highlight a picture. And right up here, you'll see Insert Edit Link. And right next to it is the Remove Link button. In this particular case, we'll remove the link so that I can show you how to use it. So I'm going to go ahead and click Insert Edit Link, and it will bring up the link page. Now, here is where you would add either an internal or an external page. Examples, of course, of external pages would be Google, Facebook, Yelp, things like that. But let's say you wanted to use an internal link. You wanted to link someone to the pet library or your client form or the emergencies page. Well, you don't have to go and look for the URL of that page. You can actually just use this link list right here. So if I click on it, you'll see it has every single page that we have on our site. And so we're going to go ahead and do pet library. And so you'll see it automatically populates it with /pet library. And so if we were to click on this image, it would take us to the pet library. Now for target, you have two options, none and new window. If you're referencing a page within your website, go ahead and leave it on none so that they stay on the same tab on the same web page. But if you were using an external link, say to Facebook, go ahead and hit new window. That'll open it up in a new tab so that they're not going away from your site. They're just taking a little detour, and that way they can click the tab over back to your website whenever they're done. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and click OK. And you can tell if a link is inserted into an image because you'll see right here that the button is pressed in. For text links, you can tell by either clicking into that word and checking on that link, or you'll see it colored different, and that'll just let you know that it's a current link. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and click Save Content again, close the window, and I'll show you what happens when you click on that link. And it takes you to the pet library. Now, real quick, the pet library is a wonderful resource to allow your clients to look up information, to get educated, even to to help the curious. But as you can see, no articles are currently selected, so no one can see any of the articles within it. In that case, we need to add some articles in there, and that's where Edit Special comes in. So I'm going to click Edit Special, and you'll see this screen, the VIN library. Now, you can go in and select individual articles, but a quicker way is to select it by species, in which case it'll select every single article that references that species or is categorized for that species. In this particular case, the orientation session website is horses. I'm going to go ahead and select horses, but you can select as many as you want. You're not limited just because you only serve dogs and cats. If you want to put every single article on your page, you're more than welcome to. In this particular case, we'll go ahead and add dogs and cats. Now I'm going to go ahead and hit save and then close the window. And now you can see that 3 different categories are selected. Now we actually can search. So if I were to search, for instance, chocolate, it'll come up with all the articles referencing chocolate, most of which are going to be chocolate toxicity. Now, what would happen if you were to click Edit Content rather than Edit Special on these types of pages? Well, I'll go ahead and click Edit Content and show you. So right now, all it has is that text that we saw above the library, which just talks about the full library of pet medical information, but nothing to select or deselect any articles. If you click on this by mistake, you can either exit out and click Edit Special up here, or we have a quick tab right here, and it'll bring you right back to the screen. All right, now, Edit Menu. Once again, Edit Menu is just changing the actual pages for your site, hiding pages, and so on. So you have your main pages right up here, and these are what are displayed on your menu at all times. If you click into them, you'll see that it'll have the next level of pages, and it can go down to 3 levels. To add a new page, all you have to do is click Add Top Level Menu or Add a Sub-Level Menu, depending on where you want the page to be. And if you ever place it in the wrong space, you can easily move them by dragging and dropping. For instance, if I wanted forms to be above Pet Library, I would just drag it above the Pet Library. Or you can use these move up and move down buttons. So the pages have a little bit of info. The menu display is just what's going to be displayed whenever you mouse over the menu itself. The title is just what's displayed in the search engine. So whenever you search, it'll be what's actually displayed on the title with this description following it. And of course, this page slug is the actual URL of the site, and you want to make sure that that's checked, meaning that it's okay to go. If you see a red X, that means that you have another page that's currently named the same, and it won't let you save it, in which case you just have to change it. Now for page types, we have quite a few, ranging from blog pages to coupons, forms, and so on. And we're not going to talk about every single page because that would take up too much time, but most are pretty self-explanatory. And of course, if you are ever stuck, you're not sure exactly what they do, clicking here will bring up the page types and their descriptions. So again, coupons allow you to create or upload existing coupons. Contact Us page has your information. Forms page lets you create forms such as new client forms or appointment forms. Now, hidden page. So what hidden page does is it hides it. It hides the current page from your clients. Now, the reasons that you might want to do this is, say you're editing a new page and it's simply not ready. You can go ahead and hide it in the meantime, and that way they're not seeing a half-constructed page. Or let's say you've created a holiday page and it's not quite ready to go, it's not quite the holidays, you can hide it until you actually need to use it. Now, the second hide from search engines, if you select this, it'll actually be removed from the sitemap. And so all that means is that Google or Yahoo or any other search engine won't actually be able to see that page, hidden or not. So usually don't need to use that, but occasionally it can come in handy if you have a page that you have for quite a while, but it's just not ready yet. And of course, delete menu item and save menu information. Always click save whenever you're done. Otherwise, all that time creating the page might go to waste. Now, we're going to go back to admin home, and I'm going to show you how to access your header, your footer, and your common content. So we're going to click on admin home, and it's going to bring us back to this main page. To get to the header or footer or common content, you're going to highlight this administration tab, and you'll see them right here, header, footer, common content. We're going to go ahead and click on header. And here is where you're going to edit your header. Again, the editor is just like the standard content editor, so nothing's changing. You don't have to learn more than one system. And if we had a logo, this would be where we would most likely insert it. And if you don't have a logo, let us know, and we have designers who can create one for you. But this is just the standard header that you start with. Of course, feel free to optimize it. Feel free to change it however you'd like. For common content, this is where you would put your hours, your social media, and so on. And so for the hours, you see that they're actually in a table, and that lets us have a uniform width for everything, has everything set up just right. That way, no matter what the browser that is being used, it's very easy to see all the content in it. Now, for your social media, of course, you may not have all three of these, or you may have even more. All you have to do if you wanted to add a new one is just go ahead and click outside of it, insert it in an image. Now, for those icons, we actually have quite a few for you to use. Now, instead of My Files, which is all the content that is currently on your page, we actually also have an image bank. Now, the image bank is all the stock content that eVetSites has for you to use free of charge, of course. And all you have to do is just click Image Bank, click eVetSites, and you'll see kind of just like your My Files, you'll see canine, equine, feline, birds, and so on. In this particular case, we're going to want to go to icons. And as you can see, there's quite a few. Now, let's say that we had a blogger. We had a blog and we want to link to it. Well, we actually have one right here. But as you can see, we have many different Facebook icons. We have, of course, Google+, Instagram, and so on, LinkedIn, Angie's List. And so we have quite a few for you to use. And if you don't see one in particular, let us know, and we can try to find it for you. But in this case, of course, I want to go with Blogger. Now, because it's designed to be a small button, we should be fine using just the dimensions it provides. If I click OK, you'll see that it's added in along with all the others. And of course, if you need to delete, just highlight and hit delete. Now, the last icon that you'll see here is actually the Get Directions icon, and this just links to a Google map so that your clients can find you easier. Now, if I click back to Admin Home, you'll see a couple different administration tasks right on the front page. The main ones are, of course, going to be users, and this is where you would add, edit, or delete new users. There are two different options for users that you create. One is member, and all members can do is view all content, so hidden pages and everything. But they won't be able to edit content. They actually won't even have the little bar at the top when they log in. The other user is a contributor. Now, what contributors can do is they can change the menu, they can add content, they can edit special, but they don't have access to the admin home, so they won't be able to change the template, to change the header, common content, to access mail, but they'll be able to do everything else. So if you want someone to be able to change the template or change the header, you'll have to give them the administrator password, but just know that they do have access to everything. And so the mail right here, if we are managing your domain, we provide you access to emails, which would be, for instance, info at inorientationsession.com. And so it's just a more professional looking email. And again, if we manage your domain, we provide you access to those emails, in which case you would add or edit them through this link. Now, integrated content, and I'll go over what that, where that displays, but this is where you would actually select or deselect whatever content that you want to share. By default, as you can see, everything is selected. And these are just articles provided by Vin that you can share with your clients. And to do that, all you have to do is make a page, a integrated content page, which is one of the page types. So right now, it's actually set to integrated content view, but you'll see that there are no articles anywhere. All you have to do is go to Edit Special, and as you can see right here, no content is selected, so it's not going to show any articles at all. In this particular case, we're going to go ahead and select all, and it will share every single type of content. You can also select how many articles you actually want to show, 2, 4, or 6. We're going to go ahead with 4. And if you have any articles, anyone in your practice has written their own articles, you can actually add them and share them along with the Vin content. So I'm going to go ahead and save and close the window now. You'll see these articles down here, and if I refresh, you'll see they actually changed. And they'll constantly cycle through every time you refresh. Now, one page that is definitely important to make sure is correct is the Contact Us /Emergencies page. So for the Contact Us, what you'll see is, of course, a contact form, the actual address right here, a phone number if you have it listed, and who to contact, in which case eVetSites, and of course our phone number. And it will auto-populate a map right here that will, again, help your clients find you. They can view a larger map. If they actually bring this up in their Android phone, it will actually, clicking on this will actually load it into their map app, and they'll actually be able to start using their GPS. On iPhone, if they don't have the Google Maps app, it'll actually load it up in their browser, in which case they can still use it for GPS. Now, to edit this information, again, we're not going to use edit content. We're going to use edit special. And it'll bring up the company name, physical address, and the mailing address. If your mailing address is the same as your physical, don't enter it in twice. Otherwise, it'll just display as twice. Go ahead and just leave the address blank. And then, of course, you want to fill in your day phone, your alternate phone if you have one, a fax if you have one, the contact name, and the contact email. Now, the emergency page, again, if you have another practice that you partner with for emergencies, you want to make sure that this is correct. And again, you're going to want to go to Edit Special and fill in the information. And of course, once you fill in the address, you can actually select which of the mapping modules to use. In which case, if all three are selected, they can choose if they want to use the Yahoo Maps, Google Maps, or even MapQuest. And so you want to make sure that this information is up to date. That way they're not calling the wrong practice in the case of an emergency. Now, tables. Again, we've already seen that the hours table is right here in the common content. However, tables can also be used in a lot of other ways. For instance, for staff. Now, you can see right here that even though there aren't lines separating these, that they are pretty clearly in a table. The text is separated from the photos, and everything looks like it has a uniform alignment. Now, to get to those tables, go back into Edit Content, and you can see right here it has these little dotted lines right here. If you click inside the table, it'll surround the table in boxes so that you know exactly where the table begins and ends. If you want to resize the table, don't use these little markers because they will actually change the orientation to a number of pixels rather than a percentage of the screen. So to change that, once you click inside the table, right-click, and here's where you can insert a table, in which case you can select how big the table is, up to a 10 by 10. But in this case, because the table is already created, we're going to go ahead and hit Table Properties. And you can see the width is 100%. And the height right now isn't filled in because it's constantly dynamic. But you can also change that to a percentage as well. Now, let's say we wanted to add another doctor. Well, that's actually pretty easy. All you have to do is come down here to the very bottom. You're going to go ahead and click in to make sure that you're inside that table. Right-click, and you can either create a new column, in which case it'll create another buffer between the doctor and his description, or row. And so we're going to want to go ahead and do Insert Row After, and we're going to want to create a little buffer between each of the doctors. So we're actually going to click down here, once again right-click, Insert Row After, and now we can start. So typically, in this setup, pictures on the left, text is on the right. We're going to want to click into this left cell, insert edit image, click that folder, and we're just going to use the same doctor photo. The dimensions are already resized for this, so we don't need to change these. I'm going to go ahead and click OK. Now you see that it's off to the side. It's not lined up. all you have to do is just go ahead and align center, and it fills it in just fine. And then here is where we would put in doctor example. This is some example text. And of course, we're going to go ahead and bold that. Now, if I hit save, you can see that it's lined up along with the other doctors. Now, let's say that your photo is too large. Your photo needs to be edited. You actually don't need to use an editor outside of the web page. You can actually use our built-in editor because for staff, you want the pictures to be the same size. You want them to line up, at least on width. So to do that, all you have to do is just, whenever you've selected an image or when you're in the file manager, find the photo that you want to edit. For instance, we'll edit this one. All you have to do is right-click instead of left-click, and then click Edit, and it'll bring you to the editor. So you can resize, you can crop, you can change with the filters if it's too dark, if it's too exposed. If you want to grayscale it to give it kind of an old school feel, and flip and rotate. Now, most cases that won't be necessary. However, sometimes when you upload files from, say, an iPhone, they'll actually be rotated on its side. And so all you have to do is just hit flip rotate, and then just apply that. And of course, you can crop or resize. And then afterwards, you can either revert what you've done, undo it completely, or save. In this case, if I hit save, it'll auto-populate with the original title. And if you hit save, it'll override the original photo, which can cause some problems if photos have already been uploaded onto the main page. So usually, you might want to name it something different. If I hit save, you actually see down here that there are duplicates so that we can continue making edits. All right. So I know that I've gone into quite a bit and that it is a lot to take in. So if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. If you run into any issues at any point, whenever you're making edits, you can definitely give us a call or send an email. So to call, just dial 888-332-5316, or email us at support@eVetSites.com. Don't frustrate yourself. Just reach out to some help. And then, of course, if you feel like going in, doing kind of your own research, you can actually get to our help site by clicking Admin Home and clicking Help. And it will bring you to our little help site that has a lot of tips and tricks, a lot of how to do, linking external sites, creating feedback forms, activating the pet library. Everything we've gone over today is in here. But again, don't hesitate to call us if you need help. Don't hesitate to email in. That's what we're here for. And we're here to help. We don't want you to get frustrated. We don't want you to feel left behind or anything like that. So I'm going to go ahead and take a moment to see if you have any questions. But we are at the end of the orientation session today. Okay, so thank you for attending our general orientation. If there's anything that you want to go into more in depth, please reach out to us. We can give you a one-on-one orientation about how to use tables more effectively, how to use images, and everything else.